A reboot of the Child's Play movie has arrived, but this Chucky needs to be recalled. Here's my drive time review. There's no surprise that movie studios want to reboot a franchise so they can capitalize on the name, but I don't know if that's a good thing. And here we're talking about Child's Play. Well, I have some mixed feelings about the movie. I think it had potential, the direction they took with the new movie. It kind of fell flat eventually because I don't think it knew what kind of movie it wanted to be. So Child's Play is not a straight up remake. It's actually a reboot. So now Chucky 2.0, that's not what he's called, but I call it that. Chucky is now an AI who learns behavior, but he has parameters so to keep him in line so he won't go all Skynet. But essentially, this buddy doll does go Skynet in that his protocols are messed with, so he has no filter. So if he hears the kids say a bad word, he will repeat it. And he's learning. So I think what I did like about the film is the approach and the new direction. So in the reboot, we have the buddy doll, which is now an AI. He basically learns behavior from others and also through the cloud. So he can get information about everybody in the cloud. So he's a hacker. And essentially he learns bad behavior from humans, and especially from kids. One kid, and he happens to be a black kid, which I didn't find funny at all, shows him how to stab a stuffed animal and say, "This one's for Tupac." Just so very random, and I didn't appreciate that humor. I don't think that's very funny at all. And because he learns bad behavior from humans, there's some points where you feel bad for him because he thought he was doing a good thing. But yet, he's disappointed that he did not satisfy his young little owner. So there's times we have some sympathy for him, and you're like, okay, that's cool. The other one, the original Chucky, you had no sympathy for the guy. The Chucky movies have always been campy, but that's been part of the attraction of the movies. So the reboot was trying to go for that, but it was also mixing other genres and other trends that we see, like in It and Stranger Things, where we see a group of kids trying to fight the evil. And this one was thrown in there towards the end of the movie, and you're like, okay, this has no place for it, where there's a group of kids trying to stop Chucky from further killings. But it came out of nowhere. These kids are set up earlier where they're the neighborhood kids and they're in and out of the movie, but they're not consistent. So yeah, it didn't work at the end. The best part of the movie is probably the young actor, Gabriel Bateman. He was so good. And he had a range of emotions, and I think it showed through his performance that he's a good actor. Aubrey Plaza, I think she would have been okay, but the way they shot her with her crazy eyes kind of reminded me of Legion, and I thought, that's a strange way to shoot her. And I've seen her in other movies where you don't really think about her look that much, like Mike and Dave Need Waiting Dates, that movie that I saw on cable. She could play normal, but here, just the way they shot her, I don't think it was fair to her because she had this kind of crazy look this whole time. And if you watch Legion, you'll know what I mean. It just reminded me of Legion too much. And they play it off like she's no ordinary mom, which came across. Buddy is the name of the doll, but the dog gives himself the name Chucky, so it just comes out of nowhere. That's just ridiculous. Like, it had no basis for the name. It was just like, I think I'll call myself Chucky. So that's what he ends up calling himself. And regarding Mark Hamill voicing Chucky, I love Mark Hamill, and I think he did a good job of it, but it didn't make sense that you have an adult voice doing a buddy doll. And obviously Chucky's voice in the original movies was the evil guy. He was a human, and that was his voice. So in this one, I'm not sure how they went about. It should have been a child's voice, but a scary voice. So that didn't make any sense. Sorry, Mark Hamill. I love you though. But it was creepy. But it's just the fact that the voice didn't match the Buddy doll. It's the factory voice. To me, it didn't make sense that a Buddy doll aimed at children should have an older voice. So I'd like to hear from you what you thought, because I think it's going to vary from person to person depending your level of intrigue for this franchise. So let me know in the comments below.